Welcome to ComSpark. Today we are in Cincinnati, Ohio. My name is Chris Philpott and I will be your guest host today. I would like to welcome our guest, Beier, the Vice President of IT at Guardian Savings Bank. BJ, thanks for being with us today. To get started today, I'd like to talk a little bit about just general challenges in the IT field. So could you talk a little bit about what challenges you're faced with?
Generally, it's just the changing landscape. There's new things coming out all the time. Security changes you got to kind of keep up with. If you don't keep up with it, the hackers do. They basically find their way in and make you wish you had figured it out first.
That's great. I'd like to turn a little bit maybe to organization and government. Governance. As an IT leader in your company, how do you find that interaction between the other executive team and the ways you collaborate and move projects forward?
Basically just listening. A lot of times you can get the answers to the questions without even asking them if you just listen to what your other executives are saying, what problems they're having or what they're looking to accomplish. And even if you don't get the answers, asking the right question, finding out what it is that they need.
Are you finding now that the majority of your projects are coming as requests from the business unit or as kind of requirements coming from the executive team?
They're mostly coming from requirements. Obviously, with everything changing, we're always moving forward, so things are always having to be implemented and put in place. So we're doing our best to try and keep up with technology and regulations and different things.
Great. You mentioned a little bit about new technology and security and staying ahead of the industry, or at least staying up to date with the industry. Mm-hmm. One of the things that is causing a lot of our clients trouble doing so is the ability to get to the technology capabilities in their staff, either by hiring those technologies or training folks. Can you talk about what you guys are doing as far as staffing and talent acquisition to try to stay current?
We train our employees on phishing and security and different things. We're very straightforward with it. We kind of hammer that home. We want to make sure that they know they are our first line of defense. That they are responsible for helping us in IT to keep everything secure.
So you mentioned you train them all. That's part of their onboarding process, or is that an ongoing training?
Both. So on onboarding, we definitely do some training to kind of show them where they should be, things they should do, some tips to stay safe online in a sense, and then we test them and train them throughout their employment. We send out phishing emails to test them to see if our training is doing what it's supposed to be doing. And a lot of what they learn at work, they can actually replicate at home. They can use to keep themselves and their families safe at home.
Okay. Great. Well, you touched a little bit on cybersecurity there. I'd like to maybe explore that a little bit more. So we talked about it being, at least the phishing, being part of the orientation for folks. Is there written policies, procedures that they understand the security environment at the bank, or are they kind of learning on the job? How do you guys approach that general level of knowledge for all the employees?
We do have policies and procedures in place, and all employees are required to read and acknowledge those. But again, it's we do take training very seriously, and we make sure that we continue to push that to make sure that they are understanding what they're supposed to be doing, and make sure they have the tools they need to do what they need to do to keep things secure.
How often in today's environment, how often do you find that you have to update the protocols and the procedures?
It's an ever-changing landscape. Like I said before, things come out all the time, so it's not as often as you would think, but it does change from time to time. So we do try to keep up on it and get ahead of it if we can.
Excellent. I want to maybe turn our conversation a little bit to the user experience, right? So obviously coming from the banking world, you're engaging with consumers. It's a B2C kind of a model. Today we seem to have a mobile app for almost every task that we do. Can you talk a little bit about maybe the challenges for a banking mobile app and how you choose a vendor and how that's kind of rolled out for your banks.
Yep. So one of the biggest issues with selecting an app or using an app is user adoption. If your users aren't going to use it, you've already lost the battle. We try to, you got to keep things simple. You got to keep things effective, but you got to have a nice balance between the two. If it's too easy, it isn't very effective. If it's too effective, it may not be very simplistic to use. So you got to find that right balance and make sure that you're able to push that home.
Have you found that there's, if you will, plenty of third-party options available for you to choose, or have you been kind of forced down a path of doing some own custom development in-house?
We basically stick with third parties. It's a little bit easier than trying to manage something in-house, especially for a bank our size. But there are a lot of options, and it goes back to you want to make sure that you find something that's that right balance of what you're looking for, the ease of use and the effectiveness.
And have you found that the app you've chosen has met your expectations?
We use a lot of different apps internally for things, and they seem to be doing the job. As far as any kind of mobile banking, we're actually working on rolling that out. So
okay.
We're hoping that will be what we're looking for and what the customer's looking for.
Excellent. Let's kind of stay on that theme for, let's call it user experience and innovation. Have you had an opportunity to look at the chat bots or any kind of bots that can help with that customer experience?
Absolutely. We're actually working on redesigning our website right now. Give it a whole new, fresh feel and look, more modern, responsive. And one of the things we plan on adding is a chat bot, not necessarily a bot in itself, but more of a chat platform. Customer can then click on the bot or on the button and actually connect directly with somebody at the office, ask a question, and usually they'll end up getting a phone call right back with more information or continue the chat right there. So that's on the horizon. Hopefully we will have that here very soon.
Great. Do you have those kind of innovations? Are they roadmapped? Are they maybe just put in order of the one that's going to come next, if you will, or do you have target dates?
We don't really have a target date just yet. We're still kind of working out some of the bugs, but we have started the design process and the implementation. So bringing it to the end user will be hopefully by mid-year.
Got it. It sounds very interesting. So what we've learned today is there's going to be a mobile app pretty soon. There may be some live chat or interactivity on the website. Any other innovations that you can foreshadow for us today?
Those are really the big things right now, but we're always looking to add more functionality, more usability, things that'll bring more value to our customers. Again, we're a hometown bank. We like to keep that hometown feel, so we don't want to get too down into technology, but we want our customers to have the tools that they want and the things they need.
That's all we have today. Thanks, BJ.
Thank you.
I would like to thank BJ for joining us today, and thanks to those listening to the interview. If you'd like to learn more, go to ComSpark.tech.